What's going on out there in YouTube land? Hope everybody's pulling through, having a decent day. You know the routine. This is not going to be any kind of video that I've ever done before. This is going to be a rant video. This is going to be a video to get shit off my chest. And hopefully, if enough people can see this, because I never say like and all that stuff. I don't care, like, share, all that shit. That's your decision. It's your YouTube, it's your decision. But give me a second. We got a mother with a child, and you gotta be respectful. All right. Anyway. As most of you all know, last April 1st, I lost my job. Which, in theory, after about 2 months of being in my apartment, not being able to find anything, I became homeless yet again after getting out of being homeless. I, well, make a long story short, was in Champaign for a couple months. Decided to move back down here to Florida. Whole 9 yards, okay? This time, universe seemed to not let me go by myself, so I have somebody with me. So, but anyway, get down to Florida, go to Tampa first. That's a lost cause. Long story, don't feel like getting back into it. Purpose of this video is to physically sit there and vent and bitch and everything else about the way the shelters in general down here treat you, okay? So if you don't want to hear a rant video and all that kind of fun shit, 212 on the clock, then turn away now, plain and simple, because this is going to be my truest and realest form that I've ever been in, and actually doing the same thing that everybody else does and posts online and bitch. Alright. First, we were in Salvation Army. Okay, down here in St. Pete. And yes, I will sit here and say names because I don't give a fuck. I don't. Well, it wasn't so much the employees there, to be honest with you. It was more the case managers. Me and the person that's with me, aka my girlfriend. Well, student thing, it's complicated anyway. Whenever your case manager looks at you and tells you, hey, you think homelessness is an option. No, that's not how a case manager is supposed to work. Reported her, did nothing, legitimately did nothing. Okay. We timed out there. Basically meaning they give you 3 months unless you can find work. And then they charge you a bed fee. The Salvation Army, which is a non-profit organization, charges you a bed fee in St. Petersburg. Plain and simple. Which is bullshit. Well, timed out there, got over to a different shelter on the north side of town. 15 miles from where we were at. And got in there, was in there for 3 months, or we was in there till this last Monday, okay, of this week that we're in. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. What is it? Thursday. And look at that, it's 11:01. And they kicked us out on Monday over some stupid nonsense because the girlfriend had a guy that would not take no for an answer. Even tried to lure her to his tent and the whole 9 yards. I went and confronted him. Like, dude, quit, stop. No. She went and confronted him after I confronted him. Just stand her ground. Literally, just stand her ground and be like, no, dude, leave us the fuck alone. Well, I'm sorry, but one of the rules in that shelter is you have to do 1 hour of chores a day until you have a job for 7 days. Then once you have a job, they take it down to 5 days. Okay? But when you have roughly about 250 people, maybe 275, 300, depending on what's going on, because they allow couples and everything in there. And literally, damn near 3/4 of them don't lift a finger in that place at all. But yet, they can make a mess. They legitimately, half of them don't even wipe their ass or blow their nose. And I'm not talking in metaphor. And that's okay. Like whenever the coordinator, Jeff, called us in his office to give us the final determination, he looked at us and was like, you guys haven't helped lift the finger around here. I have 80-year-old women that sit here and do chores. Okay? You want to consider an old woman on with one of those push walkers that everybody knows about that's got the handbrakes and everything. Literally go from the deck, sitting there playing on their phone. Literally, that's all they do all fucking day long is play on their phones. And go into the laundry room to set their ass down and be a laundry monitor to make sure everybody does what they're supposed to for 2 hours at a time. That's a chore? Seriously. He was nice and gave us till 2 o'clock. But see, I had to work on Monday. I may have been an hour and a half, 45 minutes late, but I still made it to work. They knew I started a new job on Monday. And they still kicked us out because they wanted to take the word of the abuser over the abusee in a fucking shelter. Hell, she had a fucking felony committed on her by another gentleman on the deck, which is surrounded by cameras, and it took Jeff 3 weeks to even find the footage and send it to the cops. But yet that guy was allowed to stay, and the guy that was trying to screw around with her now, or the reason why we got kicked out, is allowed to stay? How is that right? Seriously, how is that right? So, by the grace of the universe, we had somebody that gave us enough money to get a storage unit that all of our shit's in, and gave us enough money for a hotel room for that night. Then we went to a different shelter on Tuesday and stayed there till this morning, and then we both looked at each other and was like, you can't treat humans like this. This place is ran by the sheriff's department. We are all treated like we're inmates. Like legitimately inmates. She met with her case manager yesterday and completely got the 3rd degree for no reason. Legitimately no reason. She was told that she didn't need to be around me, that I was useless, that I was this, that I was that if I was really truly taking care of her, then I would have an apartment by now. Or I would have something that we're not fucking homeless. Funny on how when you're looking for a fucking job and you're looking and looking and looking and looking and you can't find one. But yet it's my fault that we don't have an apartment or we don't have a room. When we've both been looking, we both have a job now. She's waiting on some onboarding paperwork through her email. I'm waiting for 2:30 today, and then I'll be at work. You know, we're waiting on one paycheck to come in from a job that we both had for roughly about a week, and that place was just complete and total garbage. So we couldn't stay there because it was going to affect our mental health and the whole 9 yards, and just no. I got hired on at this place, not this week, but last week. And I started this week. So, yeah, that's actually an update as to what's going on, how it's going on. And the simple fact that, you know, we're just literally just waiting on paychecks to hit. And then probably about after paychecks hit and after we get some red tape done, which all I'm waiting on is money. Seriously, all I'm waiting on is money. I could probably get about $500, in all honesty, I could get us off the streets. Seriously. I know this for a fact. I do. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. I'm not asking anybody for a dime. You all want to donate, you all know how to donate. Plain and simple. So, but I just want to give you all an update and kind of vent a little bit. And maybe if this video can sit here and get a little bit of traction and get right in the right person's face, you never know what could happen. Universe works in mysterious ways, as we all know. But yeah, that's an update. 11:01 just passed again. First it was the time, now it's the fucking time of the video. But that's an update as to what's going on with me. Me and her are so close from not being homeless anymore. It's just a matter of like maybe a week or two, if that. I've called around to some hotels and shit like that. Found a couple that's cheap enough for a little bit, but just sitting here waiting on funds. So, like always, till next time, namaste, my peeps.